Greetings! I'm Rodger Newbold, and welcome to episode number 51 of the Experience Photography Vlog. You know, my partner and our editor-in-chief is Mr. Matt Rich. I haven't heard from him for a day or two. Are you there, my friend? Excellent, I'm glad. Wow. Hey folks, have you ever been confounded? Okay, well that's what we're talking about. You may remember before this short hiatus, I was prepping for a gallery show of my new set of photographs. In one of the, 5.5 minute blitz interviews prior to the opening a reception, I was asked a bunch of questions. Now, I had not deeply contemplated them, and so I was caught. I was confronted right on sight. I was challenged, but not totally dazed. Luckily throughout the years, I had often reflected upon the notion of why I do what I do. And fortunately, I was not confounded at this point in my career about why am I finally doing this exhibit. Now, apparently my answers were sufficient to satisfy the interviewer, so that was a good thing. However, in the days since, I've come to believe that we all may, benefit from pondering on a question or two that I encountered. I think they're kind of important. We hope you don't want to be confounded and bewildered in your photography. So, we're going to review a couple of these questions today. Number one. I love this. Describe the style of your work in only 3 words. Well, I put down deliberate, emotional, and attractive. Now, if you're having difficulty with this one, we can assure you that this is going to be problematic. How do you put some yet undetermined feeling into an image? Photography provides a marvelous opportunity to explore and express all of the layers of the world around you. But nothing arrives for free. The payment is you must invest some time and a whole lot of brain power into visualization. Number 2, what would you say to your younger self? Oh, boy, I have a lot to say, but here's a couple of things that I thought of. Learn to think and express yourself earlier in life. If you're really just starting out on this, learn to express yourself. Right. Yeah. Learn your craft thoroughly. When you pick up a camera, you should be able to, within minutes, know exactly what's going on and how to work with it and go and, even if it's a new camera body, there are only certain things you can do. Learn your craft thoroughly. Number 3 in this item was quit diddling around. You're wasting time and you're being frivolous. Of course, we expect your thoughts may vary wildly, but then so again may your mileage vary wildly. Nevertheless, take this as a really, really important hint. What would your answer be? I really think you ought to spend a minute or two contemplating that. Number 3. What's your subject matter? Well, for me, it's totally eclectic. Caramba! Everybody wants to stuff you in a tidy little box. They want their job to be neat, single-worded, and fastened up with a bright yellow bow. They don't like words like eclectic. It's just too eclectic. It's too extensive to write about. Of course, you'll have your own answer, and I'm certain that it will just vary from person to person about what your subject matter is. But what I'm driving at is not to let others browbeat you into an answer. Don't stand around with a camera and wait for things to change, or to get easier, or to get simpler. It won't. It just will not. Life is too complicated. Do what you do, and what you're happy doing, and do it before your time runs out. Number 4. I love this one. Name one thing other than a camera that a photographer should possess. Well, what did you come up with? What sprang into your mind? Oh boy, I wish that I had some sort of immediate feedback, kind of like the fly-on-the-wall TV camera available for this question, because I am really, really interested in what you think. Now, I must acknowledge that I gave 2 words for my answer, and I personally could not do it without a giant sense of wonderment and a sense of humor. I personally don't understand how one can wander the earth and not have more than just a few questions spinning in their head. Oh, I wonder a lot. The camera is the camera is only a tool that bears witness to our engagements of life. As the Beatles intoned in their song, there are places I'll remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever and not for better, and some are gone and some remain. But all the places and all their moments, I have loved them all. And I loved everything I've seen and shot and done. And I think you've got to have a sense of wonderment about that. It's a primal need. You should really cultivate that with a great deal of curiosity. And now the sense of humor I'm talking about is required for all of us, simply so we do not disintegrate into depression because of the state of the world today. It's not like it was in the 50s or the 60s. Things have really changed. You must force yourself to partake. And if you don't want to vaporize, you better do it soon. Now, I'm not speaking about doing stand-up comedy routine of any type of humor like that. What we are seeking is to put our slant, our mood, our opinion, our attitude toward how we mesh with life into pictures. Sometimes you just have to laugh at events. Occasionally we're induced to cry, but always realizing what is whirling around about us. An engaged experience may be another way or a better way of articulating that mindset. Now, take a look at Howard's balloon picture here. This shot of Howard Johansson's red balloon, it's taking flight. It divulges his sense of wit. The diagonal composition not only fits the entire subject into the frame, but it offers this great fantasy, the actual flight, the wonderment of the flames adding to the heavier air balloon to give it loft. The choice of the brilliant red balloon body entertains the viewer's interest with a power of absolute wow. This establishes the happy snaps rarely have the command that non-confusing, thoughtful, and innovative photographs disclose. Too often when one becomes confounded and faced with struggles and labors that stretch from day to day, a lot of people, they're trying to be kind, but they just advise that we let it go. At least one person thought it was best to whack off an ear. Possibly is not to hear the chorus of swelling confusion in his head. First of all, that's really going to hurt. Second, the solution didn't work all that well. Finally, it's the photographer's personality that needs to trickle down into the photograph that really, really counts. That just cannot be let go. Stand and be counted for what you believe. Now, some questions. What do you see? What do you feel? We believe you must keep your integrity rather than being bowled over by others' opinions. It's simply not their job to interfere with your creative act. Hey, they can go out and work out their own bewilderment somewhere else. You found your territory, and you can express it the way you want to until you stop breathing. Calling you crazy or blue or elated or up or down or for your valid reaction is just simply none of their business. Some have configured a mind that keeps on creatively churning along. Your experience is what counts the most. Accept it with gratitude and just keep on keeping on. Who is empowered to tell you that it's impolite to get up in the middle of the night and make a stunning photograph that reveals so much thought and so much emotion? Little guy, that's a question. Now take a look at Camping Under the Stars by Matt. If you can find any technical reason or thing to criticize, take a stab at it. We'll wait, because you can't. And the magnificent concept is absolutely golden. No one can belittle that. Oscar Wilde said, "Be yourself." Everybody else is already taken. After all of this, conceivably, we can absorb some new traits that might be desirable for our being, and our hope that they may define our life's work. Ernest Hemingway noted that there is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow men. True nobility lies in being superior to your former self. We're not in competition with each other. Not at all. Now, if you need to, tap the K key on your keyboard. Halt, read this, tap again to go. Take a look at this picture. As you see, We're only attempting to improve ourselves. Become better than we were yesterday. And do what we do. One step at a time, but doing it over and over. Because that's what we want to do. Then, when surprises seize your eyes, you'll know exactly how to respond. Oh, thanks, Matt. What a great photograph. I hope our chat today gives you something new to think about. Perhaps it added a new goal to boost your work into the next level. Maybe it gave you some thought to read these questions. You know, you need not be confounded and concerned any longer. It's really quite simple. My friends, our time's up for today. If you found this to be interesting and beneficial, please subscribe. Tinkle that little bell. And by all means, give us a big thumbs up. Most of all, share these questions with all those who you associate with. Help them out of the quandary. Lead them out of confusion. Save their mind. So until we meet here again on screen in the future, a tip of my hat to you, lads. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you soon. Cheerio.